But Ramesh Gehaney, ED and CEO at Endurance Technologies, is our next guest on the show right now. Ramesh, hi, morning. Good to have you on the show. Just going through the numbers, what's helped you outperform the two-wheeler industry amid this slowdown, and how is it that you've contained your year-to-date sales degrowth to single digits while the industry skid 13%?
Yeah, good morning. See, this is a very interesting question. See, normally a person is caught by surprise, when uncertainties hit you. But this is not an event which was not known. The BS6 transition was well known. And everybody in the industry also knew that there'll be a lot of stock clearances, there'll be a lot of, changes and dynamics which will play around at the end of the year. So we had our focus on this event. And we just had our operational strategies in place to look at this kind of, turmoil, or you can't call it turmoil, but you can say the dynamics.
Ramesh, most of the auto companies we've interacted with post the numbers, they're saying that for FY21, they are expecting single-digit growth. So if the industry is expecting a single-digit growth, where do you think the auto ancillary will settle? I mean, will it be double-digit, or will also auto ancillary industry will also have to report single-digit growth?
See, that's a very difficult question right now because, we are into the transition of BS6. How the sales will plan out in Q1 or right now, how will the stock clearance and everything going on will be a bit difficult to anticipate what will be in Q1. But what I believe, since Q1 will be having all the new rates and, the vehicle prices will be jumping up and will be a bit different. So let the end user settle down with what configurations of the vehicle have come onto the field and make his choices. So there'll be a bit of change points in the end user patterns. But I would suppose Q2 should be good.
Would be good. I'm trying to understand. I'm not challenging your comment, but I'm curious to understand why.
Because, first of all, the BS4 to BS6 transition was well known. It was not something the earlier BS4 transition where everybody was caught by surprise and there were huge discounts. This time the event was well known. And now the end user also knows that there's a BS6 transition on which the vehicle prices have changed and the vehicle configuration have changed. So some of the, it is believed that everyone will have the right choices once all the vehicles are displayed and the options will be on selective basis for the end user. So once that settles down, I believe Q2 should be good because everyone would have drained their inventories by that time. The new vehicles would have been on the road, and the selection of the end user would be very clear of what he wants to do.
Okay. Now, Europe has been giving contradictory signals. We've seen the car registration seeing an uptake. Production in some of the key markets like Germany and Italy, though, has been lower. So how does one read into it? Have the passenger vehicle sales finally started bottoming out?
No, it's not that way. One has to reading this in a very simple manner. It's stock clearance. October to December, the new vehicle registration was around 11.5%, which was very good. But if you look into the January production numbers, Italy is down 5.9%, France is down 13.4%, Spain is down 7.6%. So these variations will keep on happening. And, it's a stock clearance which is playing a big role over here.
When we speak to analysts who track your company, they said that your dependence on Bajaj Auto is great news because it gives stability. But what if Bajaj Auto slows down?
Well, I'm very happy to hear this. At least the analysts just realize that Bajaj Auto is a strength. And it's not a question of whether Bajaj Auto slows down. It's the industry which probably follows the same pattern. As you see that Bajaj Auto is also down around 6%. When events like this happen, when there's a major, a shift in vehicle configuration and all, everybody faces this. But yes, Bajaj Auto is protected because they've got a lot of export base, as they export in more than 70 to 75 countries. And their dependence on India sales is not as much as others have. So I think, I would say that they're in a better position as far as this condition of the market is concerned because they're dependent on exports also.
Now, there has been the cost increase in the BS6 transition, and that's expected to be the highest for CVs and two-wheeler commuter segments, close to 10 to 15%. Has there been a conversation with any of your clients with respect to renegotiation of pricing?
No, not really, because see, commodity prices are a straight pass-through, and this is done on every quarter basis. So we don't have any setback or losses on commodity prices.
Okay. Let's understand, where do you think the entire inventory levels in the system are? I'm asking an outsider to talk about something which an insider knows. What is your understanding of the two-wheeler assembly line and where essentially the inventory and the supply levels are? Because that would be an indication of sales and ultimately underlying demand for you.
See, there are two things. We don't depend ourselves on the inventories which are lying in the field, the finished good inventories which are lying by the OEMs into the field. We are more concerned on the inventories which are governed by the consumption patterns by the OEMs. And for that, we've got a very clear visibility. We can track that even on a daily basis. So since we work on most of our component supply chain on a JIT basis or close to a JIT basis, in which everyone has got local warehouses and etc., we don't find inventory management as that big a challenge because we've got the closest visibility of the consumption patterns.
Okay, fair enough. What about the growth in terms of your new orders? What has been the response to the new tech, new products?
Our products, see, we are into different actions, right? We've taken some orders from Honda, in which the shockers turn into front forks, and that order is now picking up for their new models. I believe that the response is also very good. So that's a positive for us. We have taken orders from other customers for high-end brakes, and which is also spanning out well. So I believe that new order, and even including Kia Motors, where we procured orders which are now into production. So things are spanning out well as far as our new order acquisition is concerned. In the first 9 months also, we've picked up new orders of around 463 crores. So that is moving well.
Okay, Ramesh, we'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for taking the time out and speaking with us today about your earnings. Good to hear from you as always.